Day 13. So I'm starting to get back to a place where I feel like I'm used to living again now, and although I feel still like I am drifting a little bit, I do feel slightly more attached to what's going on around me and the people that I have in my life. And the next few days are generally quite difficult to work through because although I'm starting to feel attached again to the different things in my life, I'm not necessarily in a mindset to appreciate the value of them. And that means that my expectations of feeling content aren't actually aligned with feeling content with life, and that means that it's hard to look at things and say, actually, I do want to be alive. And though that's a much better place to be than actively wanting to not be alive, it makes it very difficult to care about anything, and it makes the concept of living a long life feel like a difficult and ultimately pointless battle. Because it feels like the life that I get for winning all of those individual battles isn't actually worth the difficulty of going through the battles in the first place. And that's when I get into the concept that having a life is just too difficult because it's just not worth the pros versus the cons. And ultimately I know that's a kind of a transition from the really negative place that I was in and then getting back to hopefully a happier place at some point. It is something that I just have to work through for potentially a couple of days or a week. My dad watches MasterChef a lot, and one of the contestants on it the other day had worked really hard at this dish, slaving away to get it done, but the outcome of the dish wasn't particularly inspiring. And one of the judges said, you know, I watched you work really hard at this and fight to get this done, but if the dish isn't good enough, then what's the point of all that effort? And that's kind of where I'm at the moment, because trying to find stuff that I enjoy doing is difficult. And I understand the logic that there are things worth living for and that this too shall pass, but trying to believe that and connect with it in a way that allows my emotions to lift is difficult. I remember it being described to me that everybody has ups and downs emotionally, and they go from a scale of maybe +10 to -10, and they kind of base themselves at 0, and good days they go up, bad days they come down. I go on those same journeys of positive and negative emotions, but that my scale runs from +5 to -15, and I base myself at -5. That's just the way that I'm kind of wired. So I'm still going on those same ups and downs and experiencing positives and negatives, but my negatives are much lower and my positives are also much lower. What that then means is trying to find the things that I enjoy and make me feel happy when I'm in those positive moments is only really the top quarter of that emotional journey that I go on when I'm actually above 0 and enjoying something and say, you know what, I actually like this is worth living for. Apologies for the random scene change in the middle of today's video. I thought I'd recorded everything that I needed before I left the house, but when it came to edit later on, realised that actually it hadn't recorded properly, so I've had to re-record the second half. But I hope that's been in some way helpful. Enjoy your Easters and share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.